So, Alak, I'd also like to pass on the control to you to give a little more detailed
Yeah,
explanation of what Centriqe does and what is it about
sure.
before I move on
Thank
to
you
the other
so much,
panelists.
Sankalp. And Centric is just a thought, is an idea which came up while I was with Oracle for last 2 decades. And I was really seeing the whole transformation of the business. And the business was changing over every decade, right? So we have emerged on that. So Centric comes with complete customer engagement, customer interaction, customer behavioral pattern based on the emerging technologies of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and intelligent process automation. So you will be able to see how technology is going to empower, enable in this tough situation of the economy as well as the health situation. So Centric is trying to get onto that platform where we should empower you with your smart devices, and we'll be able to talk about more. And more than anything else, I'm also very compassionate about how we should empower, enable people so that they should take care of their emotional, financial, economic security needs with the technology. And that has been my purpose going forward. And that is what I deliver in the classroom of the Northeastern University in Boston, as well as on the UC Berkeley system here in Santa Clara and UCSC. So if you transition the slide, now I can bring you in the panel Sankalp Goyal, who is a co-founder and CEO of Djubo, which is again, I'm proud to have him in this panel. He is showing the vision from where he was and how he transformed the business in the hotel industry with 2000 plus hotels within 20, across 27 countries globally within a span of short span of time. Obviously, he has done it against the major large companies like Oracle and other service provider because the cutting edge technology is coming in and how hotel industry is seeing the business transformation. So Sankalp, we are proud to have in this panel, and we will definitely able to see how you're going to provide that insights where the hotel industries, the restaurants, or the travel and tourism is going to look at you to change their business and share the nuances going forward.
Thanks, Alak. Thank you so much for the introduction. I think it was quite a generous one. And yes, looking forward to having some meaningful insights into this session today. We have been very closely linked to this hotel industry, and with when it comes to technology, that's where we feel that we have a role to play, and that a big one. And we've been trying to do that for the past 6 to 7 years now. That's when we started off as a company. And yes, the idea today of bringing this topic was to touch upon certain technology aspects which remain largely underserved to the hotel industry. So yes, look forward to this session. Thank you so much. And I think we can move on to the next panelist. Akhil, has he joined in? Alak, can you confirm?
Uh, Let us see. I do not, if he is in the meeting, I have not seen it, but maybe he is having some technical glitches. But we can go on and you can share what he wanted to say in this meeting. Sankalp. Akhil is again the young entrepreneur, and he is part of the Tree of Life resorts and hotels. So you can imagine that at such a young age, he is now managing and running the operations of a boutique hotel and resorts and deploying the cutting edge technology of Djubo. And now he is partnering and looking at the new technology coming in the space of artificial intelligence, process automation with the conversational AI, automating in customer or guest engagement, how proactively he should be serving the guest within his hotels. So that is what he was transpiring us when he was talking to us about it. Okay.
Yes, and I've happened to know Alak for quite some time now. He's been ardent user of technology, and Tree of Life is a well-known chain of luxury, ultra luxury, I would say, boutique resorts. And Alak has been at the forefront of usage of leading technologies. And he's also been one of our foremost users of our platform and has
Okay.
been giving us valuable inputs and a lot of technological insights and user insights, end user insights into how we can improve the technology platform for the entire hotel industry in general. So we are lucky to have him here today. Unfortunately, I think he's having some technical issues, last minute glitches, and but we'll just keep the show going on. Alak, if you allow us.
Absolutely. And Francis or Anita may like to reach out to him to help him to log into Teams if we are kicking off the conversation, so we are still in the motion of our meeting. Yes, continue, Sankalp.
Just doing
Sure.
that. I'm just doing
So
that.
we'll just move on to
Yeah.
next now in the introduction itself, and
And also, I have to mention that Grish Bindra was unable to join in at the last moment. And Grish Bindra is a part of a large group of five-star hotels in India, and he has led IHG Group, which is again well global chain of hotels, and he has been advocating and supporting how technology should be really looked at in this tough time of hotel and travel industries.
yeah.
S-
So Alak, I think we'll have to make the most of what we have now.
Yes, please continue. Please
Yes,
continue.
and, we can just kick off the topic now. And I'll
Yes.
just give a little brief intro about the topic and why we've chosen this. Uh, if you look at the hotel industry in general, I think it's one of the oldest industries out there. With the first branded hotel chain opening its doors about a century back, right? And like all other industries, it's not been averse to technology. It's had its own share of technological disruptions and but compared to other industries, if you compare the hotel industry, it's been largely underserved when it comes to technology. And I say this from a lot of experience because we have close to about now 2,000 clients of Djubo as a platform across the globe in 27 countries, major chunk of them being from India. And we see the usage adoption of technology, and we see that as an industry, it's almost like a late mover when it comes to technology. So we just wanted to touch upon this topic because we feel, and I know that this and both Alak and I were discussing this, that property management system lies at the heart of every hotel. It's the focal point. It's the core where everything is revolves around, and we have done many seminars, many sessions wherein we talk about different pieces of the hotel ecosystem and technologies related to it, which usually get plugged into a PMS. But we never talk about the elephant in the room, which is the PMS itself. And the way technology has been transforming over the past decades, uh, the property management system has almost been transforming into a platform rather than a system. So this was a topic which we felt would be very relevant for all the hoteliers, hotel owners, hotel chain owners, people who are responsible for running hotel brands, and the CIOs of big hotel chains who are looking at transforming technology in their hotel brands. And what is it that they should look forward to? What are the new trends coming up in the technology, especially in the past decade? Because as someone said, technology always grows exponentially. So probably the advancements that have happened in the past 3 decades, like 10 years, for those advancements to take the next leap. So that's why we picked up this topic. And I'd just like to start off with a quotation I just was reading somewhere today. Life was much easier when Apple and BlackBerry were just fruits. So unfortunately, that's not the case now. So, with that, Alak, I would also like to hear your thoughts on the topic and why we picked it up. And
Absolutely. So, Sankalp, as you touched upon, that business has really changed over the years, right? So, property management system, the back-end systems, what we call systems of records, which is utmost required, which is a significant application which any hotels, restaurants, or travel and tours, or any organization should be looking at to manage that. Even the mid-sized properties, residences, motels, we are now looking at the properties like Oyo manages, right? So all of that is given. And the whole notion of the transition which is coming in from the system which has been delivered is now coming hand in glove with systems of engagement. That means the future of the backend system, the future of your guest reservation, check-in, check-out, or F&B or backend system has completely changed. Now everybody is looking at seamless interface on their smart devices. Guest is not interested to come in into the hotel, stand up in front of the reception. They want absolutely seamless check-in so that they have already seen everything virtually wherever they are. They know which room they have been allocated. They know which restaurant they are going to go, and now everything on their smart devices. So that is where your intelligent process automation comes in. Then comes in your artificial intelligence comes in, where you know the behavior of your next millennial or educated or high-tech consumers or the guests who are using these technologies. So do you see the future where we are heading towards stepping in? This is going to be very interesting, Sankalp. In my view, the time is now. While government or our health directorate is guiding us, stay put, take extra care precautions. It is the new normal going to be. That means a wake up call has already come in. The
yes,
technologists like us, we need to transform. We need to give them the tools and technology which should empower the hotel management leaders to
yes,
manage their businesses effectively, to manage their profitability effectively. They have to change in digital transformation. They have to change in the new era of outcome-based management. What is we are talking about? We are looking at, are you going to do the business the same way as you have been doing 6 months ago? You have to question yourself. So Sankalp, I am really looking at the thoughts, what you are bringing in with 2000 plus hotels, how you are transforming them now, and what is
yes.
the necessity of our current times.
And Alak, I think you rightly touched upon this again, a big topic which has been discussed a lot, digital transformation. I think it's the most, so to speak, overrated terms out there today, and we talk about it a lot in every industry, every domain, and more specifically in hotel industry. Today, I just wanted to touch upon some very practical aspects of digital transformation and why I want to do this in the overall context of the future of PMS, because it's very synonymous with when we talk about a futuristic property management system, or when we talk about digital transformation, the property management system lies at the heart of it, right? So you can't you can't be digitally transforming yourself if you are sitting on a dated technology stack. So I wanted to touch this because I have been lucky enough to witness digital transformation projects firsthand for one of our client groups, which is one of the biggest hotel groups in Philippines, with about 4,000 keys, and the group which undertook this digital transformation project. And from when I got to hear about it and when we got first involved with it, it really seemed to be a very audacious and very ambitious project, because considering the legacy that they were coming from, and the kind of organizational structures they were sitting at, the kind of the sheer size of that organization, it seemed that it really seemed difficult that such an organization would ever be able to digitally transform itself. So, but that experience in itself was unique in itself, and we did witness that people, the entire group, the entire chain of hotels were able to see massive ROIs within the first 2 years of transformation itself. Of course, digital transformation is not a one-step process. It's a longer process. It's a multi-step process. It's almost an organizational change at a from the grassroots level, which requires a lot of team effort, a lot of commitment from the top level. And that's what I wanted to touch upon today. So Alak, from your experience, you come from a rich experience from Oracle, which is the mecca of hospitality. Oracle hospitalities tech almost controls 16% of the world's room inventory. So
Absolutely, Sankalp. And my colleague, former colleague Fabricio, is in the meeting who is supporting Oracle Hospitality. He knows me and he knows how I see the whole digital transformation. He also sees the urgency right now that how the major companies like Oracle is thinking about transforming this hospitality industry. So obviously that will take time to have the cultural change. It will take time for business to adapt and embrace this change, right? So what you are putting up on the slide, voice based, collaborative, agile, that is the keywords I'm going to mention about, which is going to be completely a challenge in front of us as technology leaders to make it simple, to make it very, very user friendly on their smart device. Because a smart device, when I say, that is going to be our new norm. We are getting away from bricks and mortar. We are getting away from normal way of working as we have been working in the past. Many large companies, they are shutting down their offices. I know in the US, they are saying we don't need offices anymore. Reason? Very simple. We can do many things on the smart devices now, right? So when many things can be done on the smart devices, all your reservation, check-in processes, or guest, booking processes, or managing all the guest relationship, guest engagement. You see, I'm talking about collaborative environment. And if we can simplify it with voice clicked, voice based, and conversational AI I'm talking about. So when I'm bringing conversational AI on top of your system, Sankalp, which is making life so much easier. And when we do this, guest delight, guest satisfaction, guest behavioral pattern will go 10 times higher than the conventional way of taking the feedback on a form. We don't believe in taking the feedback on a form anymore. People should talk about on the media. Digital campaign has begun already. Now you see that new millennials don't want to sign up any forms. They wanted to talk. They wanted to convey. That is where I am coming in with the plethora of services where guest is the prime focus. Guest is going to revolve the business. Guest is going to change your business. If businesses are not seeing this, probably they will not be able to exist. In my mind is very clear.
yeah,
Guest is going to drive the business. We technologists need to listen to what guest wants, where they wanted to go, what they wanted to eat, how they wanted to live, and everything in advance proactively. The whole
yeah,
vision what Centric is bringing on the table, Sankalp, you know me by now. I am translating how I'm behaving in this situation, how our new millennial is behaving. I'm observing their behavior. If I can translate that into our technology, I think we will survive and grow 10 times faster. And that is what I'm looking at collaboratives approach with you, with my colleagues at Oracle, with my friends. Now I have now team members here coming in from restaurant group. Amit is here in the meeting. Amit will also echo with me how we are addressing the customers who are coming in. I'm also now talking to Naresh, who is good friend of me, sitting there in the UAE. He knows the business of hospitality, right? All this, why I'm talking about, we are transitioning to the new era. And this is the new era has come now. We are making the beginning. We have already begun and we are making the journey on that.
absolutely,
Over to
Alak.
you, Sankalp.
Yes, absolutely. And just as you spoke about the guest experience and about guests, I just pulled out a very interesting statistic. So it says that a customer who rates you 5 on a scale from 1 to 5 is 6 times more likely to buy from you again. So that brings about the importance of guests and having happy guests who can actually rate you. And when we say about rates and guests who are reviewing, that's where the technology again comes into picture once
This is
again.
so important part you are bringing up here, Sankalp, and I could not be really talking so deeply on this because this is where my heart goes, right? Because when I say this, feedback you are really living and breathing with the customer, with the guest. Now, behavioral matching. People may not tell you on the face that I don't like your food, I don't like your restaurant, I don't like your hotel. They will not tell you on the face. But how should you know about this? That is the intelligence we have to provide to the hotel managers, or hotel leaders, or the restaurant leaders, or any travel and tourism service provider. That will translate into revenue management because I'm also building the revenue management system which is dynamically managed. Imagine that if business leaders are looking for profitability control dynamically, I have also dealt with Oracle Hyperion systems. You know, Hyperion was very powerful system which does the cost and profitability budgeting control system. Very successful system. But now that era has come in where I need to know how much I need the profitability, what I have to deliver based on the revenue which is coming in, what is my cost anchored so that business leaders should be managed by system.
Yeah,
We are enforcing the decision maker to act upon that. So both goes hand in hand. And
yeah,
you know what, Sankalp, we are also providing NPS, Net Promoter Score, customer behavior score by metrics. This is the new era. We will be rating your service based on the digital metrics. If you are rated CBS, customer behavior score, at 70, that means I trust taking care of my latent needs, hidden needs, and you're taking care of my emotional needs. That is what customer behavior score I'm talking about. And
absolutely.
most of the hotel owners I'm talking to, they resonate with me. They said, nobody has talked to me a lot like this, the way you're talking. And Amit is there in the meeting, Naresh is there in the meeting, Harish is in the meeting. They are all leaders in their own capacity. They are running, managing the hotel business, restaurant business. And I'm proud to have them in this meeting, Sankalp. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, Alak. And I think, yeah, at the heart of the entire hospitality and hotel industry, the guest experience lies. It's the foremost priority of any hotel owner or any hotel manager, I would say. And it's very important to understand, I believe, that artificial intelligence is again a very generic term, very loosely used at times, and hoteliers are not actually able to relate to its actual power, the power that it can bring to their hands, to their teams, so that to they can deliver a stellar guest experience, which is what are here for today, and we just wanted to bring this out that artificial intelligence is not just a technology piece, but it's very closely linked to the entire guest experience. So I was just pulling out another statistic. I was just going through and reading an article over there. Uh, I'll just pull it out again. But yes, I think that it's time that we started adopting and not thinking about artificial intelligence as something distant and far away, something which is very difficult for us as a hotelier to adopt, because the tools are now out there. If I talk about Djubo itself, the end users, the operations teams don't even realize that they are using an artificially intelligent system when they're looking at the reviews dashboard, when they're using looking at the pricing. So we need to be cognizant of that. Uh, so
I like to say facing the major problem when hotel is already bleeding or hospitality segment is already bleeding with online agencies, online travel agents, or online service providers who are claiming or mentioning that they will bring the business, and they are. Fact remains they are, but they are also taking hefty margin, which is already taking away from your bottom or top line. So if you are looking at your revenue management, think about it. Why should guests go to Google Hotels? Why hotel end user millennials are searching and then booking the hotel from there? That is where comes your guest loyalty, guest preferences. I'm just touching upon where the new era is going to be. New era is saying that you have to hold your guests who are your guests. They should you this coming to you directly. Why should go via media? That means you should now go back to your grassroots, go back to your own profile, go back to your guests and work with them so that you should always be getting 70 to 80% occupancy. If you take care of your guest, which is 1,000 guests in a year, if they have checked in a hotel, probably they will be coming back to you. So I'm talking about not only revenue, I'm talking about emotional connect as well. That is what the emotional intelligence is coming through the artificial intelligence. Predictive maintenance, this is a topic which you need to talk about, Sankalp. You are doing so well in terms of managing the property so well on the back end, which
Yes.
requires how do we eliminate any downtime? How do you eliminate any usage of your equipment in the hotel, your fixtures? Those are things which you need to talk about. The new era is witnessing that everything should be managed by technology. We are now bringing those technology to enable the mid-size hotels. Now think about in the US, Sankalp, there are motel owners, extended stay or, comfort in, days in. Do they know how many things are running in their property which they are not aware of? Why they should be incurring cost on that? We need to tell them that this technology helps that. That
Yes.
is where I'm so excited about it. And people
Yes, I think,
listening to
and
you, yeah.
yeah, very important point that you brought about usage of technology. I've heard this very often that as hoteliers, as hotel managers, our primary focus is guest experience, guest touch points, our physical presence and behavior with the guest, right? So, and I've seen this often that under this understanding, technology is over underrated by hoteliers. The statistic that I was just trying to pull out, it says that 66% of the guests report that they have a better experience when associated with the use of technology. So this is a study that was carried out, and again, if we come about talk about guests retention saving costs, it takes about 6 to 7 times more cost to acquire a new customer than to retain. So if we can simply use tools to increase our customer retention, to increase their experience, their touch points, I think it can make a world of difference.
Let us simplify, Sankalp. Let us simplify for our listeners and the viewers because they need to understand. I am giving a scenario like guest is coming in from different parts of our society. They are not necessarily all are tech savvy people. They are not all millennials. There are people who are coming in from the US, going to India, people are coming from Europe to US, and people who are, let's say, corporate executives or people who are travelers on vacation. They all need to be invited in a simple way. So how do we do easy booking on the smart device? Are you enabling direct booking or are you going through the Make My Trip or Travelocity or so on? Why should we go through that? If you take care of your web commerce strategy, that will be absolutely necessity of the hour. We will enable your profiling of the guest through different channels. Easy payment. Now, how do you talk about that? We need to enforce a smart commerce. These are the things which is now in context of hotel. You are having a lot of payment services coming in through simple Google Pay, Facebook Pay. I mean, all this digital pay gateway, which is enabling payment. Make it simple. A smart room is the new era thing. I don't want to see television in the room anymore. I don't want to see remote control given by the hotel owners in the room. Why? Because I have got my own personal device which should work as a remote. If I can get my smart device to turn off, turn down AC control, that is what you are looking at smart rooms. I don't want to watch television on the hotel room. I would like to have on my smart device the kind of content which I'm looking for. That is what you have to think through and talk about the customer experience. I wanted to communicate if I'm checking in the room to get my food of my choice. Can you enable me that as a hotel manager? Yes, you will do that because at Centric, I'm giving you that conversational interface on your smart device so that I know, okay, let's see if I'm coming to Daryaganj and I'm now going to Daryaganj restaurant. This biryani need to now know on my food. Okay, I'm coming to celebrate my anniversary at that restaurant. That is, they know that Alak is coming to celebrate. You see, that is the experience you like to give when I come in there because you know in advance I'm coming. If you don't do that, you're not making my emotional need fulfilled. You are just doing my physical need fulfilled. You're just serving me dal makhani, and that's all you're doing. But if you give this emotional touch, I will be remembering forever, and I'll be always coming to that place. That is what you are talking here, Sankalp. This is
Yes,
what the
yes,
technology of the
yeah,
new era.
yeah. So yes, Alak, couldn't agree more about this. And just to bring the context of the topic that we are trying to touch upon today, the future of PMS. So you talked about a lot of concepts, which are the concepts of future and new age hotels and businesses. So I just wanted to drive home the fact that all of us understand, all of us want to do this. It's on our wish list that one day we just walk into a hotel and the front office who receives us knows our entire history, right? When we order a food, my the person who's taking my order knows what are my preferences for that order, and so on and so forth. But what do we need to do today to be able to enable that? So that's where the property management system comes into picture. So just to give you a very classic example, when we go out and pitch Djubo to our customers and tell them that it's not just a property management system, or it's just not a revenue management system or a centralized reservation system, but it's a platform. So, and what it will enable you to do is it will not just enable you to carry out your day-to-day operations, but it will enable you for future. And a classic example of that is when COVID struck, we immediately started working on a touchless contact solution. And just last week, we released a web check-in solution to all our customers who are already on this cloud-based platform, which is highly pluggable. And they were live within a few hours. So now the guests do not require to actually walk in and sign those long guest registration forms, fill up those forms uh, uh, under that risk of touching so many objects and surfaces. They can do it 24 hours or 48 hours before the arrival, upload all their documents and give all the information that's required, even sign the COVID declaration form. And once they walk in into the front office, it takes a couple of minutes for them to just take the keys and walk into their rooms. So that's what a futuristic PMS can do to a hotel. They can enable it for unpredictable situations. They can enable those hoteliers for futuristic concepts very easily.
You know, Sankalp, you have done so well in, let's say, Southeast Asia, right? So 2000 plus hotel deployment is not a joke, right? In such a quick span of time, which you have just described. Now we are bringing you to the US market, right? And we are bringing you in the US region with these services. You can imagine Dave is now in the meeting, and Dave and I talked about that this is a huge opportunity on the plate for all both of us. When I'm talking about residences, I'm talking about motels, I'm talking about the private owners who are managing, let's say, serviced apartments. I'm talking about the restaurant chain. These are the things which they don't have it right now. And believe you me, when I'm talking to the group of property owners, right? Company, and Harish is on the meeting as well. He is managing large number of properties, and he says the same thing in the situation like Golden Sands, in the situation like managed apartments having, let's say, so many apartments in the region in Dubai, right? And that has become the norms now. People wants to go and check in into imperial residence, golden residence, or silver sand residence rather than going into five-star hotel all the time. You have always addressed five-star hotel, four-star hotel. How about those kind of? They need to be also given something directly in their smart devices, because COVID is transforming that business as well. We
Yeah.
wanted to get personalized. We wanted to get the home kind of feeling when we go to any remote distances, likes of travel and tours, right? So very good point you mentioned about it. This is huge opportunity for the leaders who are listening, and
And
collaborative stage has come in. Yes.
Alak, I think, yeah, very rightly, and you actually logically moved on to the next topic that we had. How do hotels today prepare themselves for disruption? We are seeing disruption everywhere, and as hotel industry, I've seen these conversations running around a lot, being discussed around a lot, and I largely see big hotel chain managers, CIOs, CFOs being a little on the defensive side when it comes to the likes of discussion on Airbnbs and Trevagos and the Booking.coms of the world, because these are the people who are disrupting their business. A business which had not ever been disrupted in the past century is now being challenged by these players, which are pure technology play. So I think that brings or drives home the fact that hotels today are even in more need to transform themselves, adopt new technologies, adopt new property management systems which can enable their teams for future. So I think that's a very valid point. A person who was earlier preferring a five-star or four-star hotel is now preferring an Airbnb because it's much more convenient, it's much more homely,
And
and it's much more, yeah, the experience is.
and yeah, sorry to interrupt on that flow, as you're saying that we have been talking to many group of hotels owners now, and I can cite some of the reference. They're saying, Alak, if you address only this OTAs, if you can bring that business to us directly from OTAs, why people are going to OTAs? If you can replicate some of it, I think we are able to get back to our own feet very quickly. That means this is like a fish bone for them, which they can't take it in, they can't throw it out. That's what the example they gave me. So how do we take care of? So there is only two ways we can address this. The thing they are doing well, can you do it well? So to do the same thing with technology, they are doing it. If hotel owners take the pride in doing themselves with their own guests, probably they will stick to them. And on one point, I'm saying the transformation. Most of the hotel and resorts are saying, instead of, let's say, daily basis, can we have a package services week, month, or longer term, so that they are also transforming that. It's not a hotel anymore. It's a residence. It's a more of a longer stay where you can come in, enjoy with the family, and stay for a week. Many vacationers are thinking, why can't I go and work from Hawaii now? If I wanted to go and work from Hawaii, what I will be doing? Think about it. Do I need to go and stay in a small room, or do I need to stay in a large premises where I should be enjoying all the facilities? If the resorts have that facilities, can they invite and give us a month stay there with the price which one can afford? That is the transformation we are talking about.
Absolutely. Alak, I see that we have almost run out of time. It's almost 42 minutes that we've been talking about this. In the interest of time of everyone who's joined, and I think we should just try and conclude things and arrive at certain conclusions and certain points which can be valuable for us to take home. So I think when we started off with the topic of future of PMS, we talked about various aspects of technology and how they touch upon the operations and the running of a hotel business, right? So if I were to ask you a question, that if you were to imagine a property management system of future, right, what would it be? Of course, there are certain points given out there on the screen, but what would your personal take be around that?
So, Sankalp, this is a very pertinent question in front of all of us in the room, in the meeting who are listening, right? And all of us have been contemplating how the property management system, how the backend system should be for future, right? In my mind, it is very clear that system of records have done its part. And I'm quoting Geoffrey Moore, who I'm a great fan of. He said that we have built our system of records very well. That means we have done the transaction systems very well in the hotel management. We have done very well in the check-in, registration, guest history. We have done F&B, restaurant management, supply chain, and accounting. We have done that. But if I look at in the mid-size, is still there room to improve. Now I am bringing systems of engagement. Probably that is the new beginning. It's happening. The systems of engagement, my focus has gone outward. You have already made your house in order. Go outward to your guest. Look at their emotions, look at their behavior, look at what they want, what they prefer. Do not try to oversell. If you just meet the emotional needs of the guest, you are running business very, accomplishing. You are satisfying your business bottom line. And if you are very, very smart device based, because the new generation has already adopted, millennials have adopted smart devices. So is even I'm going back to the people across the country, across the globe, people are using smart devices, irrespective of age. Only thing, make it simple, make it more proactive. AI is nothing but based on the data I'm getting predictive and proactive. Do it proactive. If I ask you to do something, it's not a great experience. But if you do before I ask, that is the delight. That is proactive. And I'll just conclude and then I'll open a question on this. Interactive, you mentioned. We want it to be interactive. How conversational interaction comes. I'm sitting in the hotel lobby. Can I interact? Yes, I can interact. I can interact with a back-end guy who is making kitchen, who is already bringing the food for me. Can I? Answer is yes, technology is enabling. And guess what? One of my customer front back-end guys say, can I also see that whether my recipe is liked by the table which I served? I said, yes, I will make sure that food you have served on the table, you are not able to see the guest sitting there, but you will get notification that guest is liking your recipe or guest has liked the food. That is what we call instant feedback to the cook who is cooking and bringing food for you on the table. You see that? This is the new era I'm talking about. I'm talking about how do I get my service done on the pool side? I am now in the hotel and I'm enjoying the swimming in the poolside. I wanted a drink. How can I get the drink? Nobody's around. Your smartphone is there. You're not leaving your smartphone behind. You can immediately interact with the bots, conversational chat bot, where the drink is served within 10 minutes. You see the process transformation, intelligent process transformation. That is what we are bringing with you. So Sankalp, you see where we are heading towards? It's not a rocket science. Making things simple and execute it. That's the movement I'm on. I'm driving a movement here to change the mindset of people. And now I will open the conversation. I will go from the US first. I will go round the globe. I have my team, the Dave Monahan is a very experienced technology leader and he is the industry leader. He has seen the evolution of the industry, and Dave and I know each other. So, Dave, will you be able to have any question, comments, what you see in the hospitality industry? I'm picking up just because I just don't want to have open questions. Let me interact here. Dave,
Yeah,
over
sure,
to you.
sure. You know, it's so funny when you have an ideal customer experience, you remember it for decades. I had caught, I got very, very ill at the Opryland Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee. And the long experience was that I got to the concierge, and before I knew it, I was talking to the executive chef, and he's like, "Sir, I'm so sorry that you're ill. It's no fun being sick when you're on the road. You call this number 24 hours a day, and we'll run beef stock or chicken stock or jello to you." And you know what? 30 years later, I'm still telling that story. So anytime you can capture that kind of interaction, it just creates opportunities for the next time you're in any of those associated properties. Hey, I understand you were ill, feeling better, I hope. You know what I mean? Just any of those kinds of things that just build brand loyalty. So
Spot on.
yeah.
Spot on, Dave. Yeah, absolutely. Let me go round now to Fabricio. Fabricio, you are leading Oracle Hospitality, and you and I know the whole transition. Would you like to share what you see at Oracle Hospitality? And
I
any
thank you.
question, comment?
Thank you, Alec. I cannot agree more with pretty much all of the presentations that I saw there, and also with the slide that we have right there on the screen. And we are fully aligned with this transformation at Oracle Hospitality, and we have implemented multiple technologies, some very recently, to achieve what you have there on the screen, introducing AI, which is a reality now, introducing cashless payments, which has been a reality for many years, keyless access, contactless access. All this is really a reality, and that is unstoppable, like you were saying, and it will keep growing. And we hope to be, of course, part of this
And by
change.
the way, Fabricio, you are in Europe, right? So tell the audience what you see in that region. How is people adopting this?
Or people is adopting this
In
against
in
the
the
clock,
hotel
like they
industry.
say, you know,
Yeah,
because we have all a situation right now that is forcing you out of the comfort zone. So the ones that undertook these changes before the pandemic hit, obviously, are in a great position right now. And there's others implementing all of these changes right now against the clock, right?
excellent. Yeah. So Fabricio,
And I
you and
fully
I
agree
are
with you
working
also on,
close.
oh, sorry,
Yeah.
and I fully agree with you also on the engagement that you mentioned. I think that's definitely the way to go.
Excellent. I couldn't thank Fabricio more because he is helping. We are part of Oracle ecosystem. We are running on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Fabricio, you know that. I'm connected with all Oracle Hospitality team leaders here in the headquarters. They're all supporting from the back end. Okay, now I'm going back to UAE, Dubai. I have two leaders there in Dubai. We have Harish Chandar, who is again leader in his own domain. He has been leading hospitality for so long. Harish, can you share your thoughts or question the panel here if you have anything in your mind?
Thank you, Mr. Alak. Thank you for inviting me into the meeting. UAE is a very progressive market, and now everything is down. But again, in the coming months, things are going to rise. And what I see in this presentation and what I see how hotels and restaurants or dining venues can benefit, it's mind blowing. I think very much less is known about all this what Centric have to offer. We have a big market to approach, and if I say in short that if we go to the hotel owners, operators, and new opening properties, this has a very big future. All these features that has been explained, which is AI driven back office interaction when there is no servers around or feedback of a kind, this is exactly where UAE is heading. The leadership is very keen on bringing new technologies. All best chains are existing here, and many more hotels are coming. Luxury spaces are taken, and new openings are in the coming month. So I see a great future for Centric penetrating this area with the things that I hear from Mr. Sankalp and other two leaders. I am not able to recall the name, but again, it's very impressive. Overall, I'm going to do everything possibly I can to work along and voice out these features to the people, those who do not know. Since, see, I'm a hotelier and I know how many systems and softwares hotels are using, but these technologies are not known to many people, especially when you arrive at the front desk and you have already done your pre-registration 24 hours, 48 hours before, uploaded your documents. All you do is just swipe the phone, you get keyless entry, your phone works single touch point. You will not touch the lifts, you will not touch the room handle, you will not touch anywhere else, and everything has access given to you. Plus, when you're leaving, you are giving your digital feedback. You're not writing in any books, you're not writing against anyone, and it's everything is recorded under your name. 6 months down the line, when you check in again, everything pops up. What you like, what you ordered, what was your best place of hangout, where did, or what was your room liking, ocean view, sea view, lake view, and whatsoever. So I'm very impressed with everything that Centric has to offer in this part of the world. Thank you.
No, thank you so much, Harish, for your kind words. Now, I have also Naresh, if you are listening, can you also share your thoughts, Naresh? Because you know me and you have also seen the evolution of Centric, where Centric has come in. Centric
Sure.
is now deploying at five-star hotels. Centric is deploying at property management group or Signum Hotels group and so forth. Naresh?
Right. Thank you, Arak. Thank you for inviting me. So first of all, Alec, what I would must congratulate you to the level you have already reached, and it's interesting. So the systems in the hotel segment, yes, a lot of things are happening the way Sankalpa has said. Today I was reading about the keyless doors becoming even now furthermore changed with eye contact. You can open your door. So Iris is coming in as the door opening systems, etc., more security. But what I see a very clear need is omni-channel within the hospitality sector. I see a need for the feedback system. Very important to have what we all said, retention of customers will be based on the feedback and how you react to those feedbacks and this analysis. I relate this to something we are doing for a hospital in Saudi, where the customer feedback has become so important as part of the CRM. And I relate this, what you just said, is not only to the hospitality, but can be even looked at the hospital where the patient reactions can be looked at.
Excellent. Naresh, 24th is that discussion, thought leadership discussion happening for healthcare and wellness. Centric
Right,
is now launching the healthcare services offering based on the same platform. You'll be
right,
seeing that discussion very, very relevant on that. So coming
right.
back to now India, remember I mentioned US, Middle East, and India. I have Amit Bagga, who is working with Centric, and he is leading the complete campaign on the future of restaurant business. He's working with me on a every week basis. And Amit, would you share your thoughts? What is the transformation you are seeing now?
Yeah, hi. So, yes, there is going to be a major transformation. And in the last few months, we have realized the importance of technology as the whole world is being running on technology. And, also in our restaurant industry, it's become even more important. And as we see, because now people are, the biggest, what the biggest change is, like, for example, in India, in Delhi, we have our restaurants running at 50% capacity. So even if we want to, and even if the customers want to come, we cannot go back to 100% of our sales. I mean, our restaurant Touchwood was one of the restaurants which was still getting a lot of customers coming in, but we don't have the capacity to serve them, so we cannot get back to our revenue. But there is one way you can increase your revenue is when the customer who's already coming inside your restaurant. You cannot increase the number of people coming in because of the capacity, but the person already coming in, you can increase the per person spend that customer is doing, and that can be done with with the help of AI, by using AI to our advantage, by making sure we upsell and get more out of that one customer who's already there in your restaurant. So that's and just one of the examples, but there's be so many so many things which we can do in the restaurant industry with AI helping us.
And Amit, you and I are working on value-based catering, value-based restaurant management. Amit, by the way, runs the chain of a casual dining restaurant, very reputed restaurant, Daryaganj Rest Hospitality. The Daryaganj restaurants, you call it, right?
The Reagan Hospitality, yeah.
Yeah, and now Centric is coming in to empower him with emotional touch, with behavioral pattern-based restaurant management, and that is the new direction Amit is setting up for his group. And he sees the opportunity that if he does it, others will follow. So it's a leadership
Yeah.
position for him, and I'm going to support him in his endeavor.
Yes.
Coming back to CRM, somebody mentioned about
Thank you.
CRM. Naresh mentioned about it. I have a person in the US in the meeting. Manas has built a very powerful CRM system, and he has partnered, signed up with Centriqe to empower CRM with AI. So Manas, can you share your thoughts how you see it, the CRM of the new era, where hotels should be empowering their sales team or marketing team, where they will be able to do all that personalized campaign through AI technology. Manas, if you're hearing me. Manas, can you hear me if you are there in the meeting?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Manas.
Yeah, sorry, it was muted. Thank you for this opportunity. And what I've been hearing so far from you and the rest of the panelists, really thought-provoking. And it is very interesting how we are planning to bring in the proactive stream of thoughts into the application. And yes, the CRM is the next avenue. And I think what we have been listening to some of our customers are on the same track as yes, the system of records is all good, but at the same time, if we can do something more empowering on that system of records, it would be really wonderful. And using those chatbots and using those arenas of thoughts in terms of bringing the predictive modeling of what will be the next purchase, or when they are more inclined towards getting the next offer or promotion to be fulfilling them, is going to be very interesting. And from the CRM point of view, what we have been seeing is we do have some of the hotel customers, hoteliers, as well as restaurant business are using our platform. And what they would like to see is basically, rather than being a little bit surprised when the customer visits, what we can do in order to use a CRM in order to get a predictive model of the user behavior, where we can expect the customer or the user might be coming during this period or during this time. And I think that's where we are planning to work with Centriqe and see how we can envision that plan and then get it to the next action. However, in terms of what I've been listening from the platform, Djubo is very much in line towards the next generation of hotel management. It's a wonderful session so far. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Manas. So that brings the close of our this session, top of the hour. It's absolutely 9 a.m. here, and it's late in India as well. So I thank everybody, my panelists, our panelists, which is Sankalp and Francis, Anita, who has put in this effort to organize this event, and also all the attendees here, including our respected friends like Naresh, Amit, Harish, Dave, everybody who joined in, and some of our customers who are listening. This is streamed on the digital media. So people has been streaming this on the Facebook and other social media. Live stream has been done, and it will be available on demand as well. So thank you for joining this. And on 24th, we are bringing yet another powerful panel where we are talking about healthcare and wellness services, embracing emerging technologies for new era which we are heading towards. So 24th, that will be again in your personal invite calendar, and we believe in that if we change the mindset, we'll create the new future. Thanks everybody for joining us. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you, everyone. Thank you so much for discussion today. Thank you.
Mr. Alak, thank you so much for the time, efforts, and the knowledge that you shared.
Thank you, Harish. Talk to you soon. I'll be catching up with you soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all panelists.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.